Precisely. Trying to figure out what that noise is. Thought it was the AC, but it is not. What's the deal? What's going on, Free Cypher? What's been going on in the world since we last got a chance to build? Luke Cage. But we coming on a little bit later, so we gotta take that into consideration. Plus, the topic today is, we're bringing it down. But, sometimes you got to bring it down to take it up. This is one of those ones where I should have put the question on. Gorilla Goodies. I got hoodies. Which ones you talking about? So, Free Cypher, you said you was at the lab getting your study on, huh? So, what was you what was you getting into? Just some general study, or you was on a particular degree of study? We got a little lag time today, I see. The third degree and the 1 in 14. And how old is your son? 22, all right. So y'all should be able to go. Y'all should be able to go quite in depth. That's a whole science. One thing with the young though, I was just discussing that with somebody is that they can bear witness to the science, right? But with them, the culture matters a lot. That's a whole nation of people. But see, for them, it's like, yeah, right, I seen all the science that you teaching, right? But then I also see how people live it out or don't live it out in the name. King Math. So, speaking of that, that actually makes a good transition into today's topic, right? Using your wisdom to show and prove who you are. So, that's a question right there, right? I'm asking it right here on the live, so this is, public and everything. It's outward, but at the same time, this question is really, you gotta be honest with yourself, right? Does your wisdom show and prove that you got? And so just a heads up, right? We know that there's many manifestations of the principle of wisdom. This particular time, we're not talking about words. Now, Rule said non-verbal just ways and actions. Indeed. So, it's simple. We're not taking shots at nobody, right? But look, how so? And listen, this is a question that you gotta ask yourself every day. See, that's the application of mathematics, right? Every endeavor, right? Everybody that comes up and makes a presentation to you, right? Let's go do something savage. I don't do savage stuff, so I can't really think of nothing right now. I can't think of nothing, but okay, if I do that, what is that gonna show and prove about who I am? said, would part of that be providing food, clothing, and shelter for yourself and the family? Indeed. You know, because you got to remember, it's every world, it's every level. Right? You know, the 12 Jews is not our lesson, but you know, when you deal with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? That's education. Freedom, justice, and equality is social. Right? Food, clothing, and shelter is economic. And love, peace, and happiness is family. You know, that's just one group of ciphers right there. Right? That, okay, in each of those worlds, right, which you shown improvement. You said your ways and actions, wisdom have to reflect the truth, power. That's how you show and prove that you God. So, give me an example, right, of your ways and actions, you know, reflecting the truth. You know, I would use the term expressing the truth, but I get your point. But give me an example of that. See, because let me tell you something. It's people that got the knowledge and don't know what to do. The bar was the science. It's people that got the science and don't know what to do. They know all the lessons. They can quote them, but they don't know what to do. Say, yes, sir, I use proper judgment when doing things I need to and staying out of necessary BS, whether that be people or stimulation. I make sure I get the best part and leave the worst part over there. Complete, what's the deal? Now, a little bit putting people on the spot here, right? But this is what I'm saying, right? We gotta start defining some specific actions. Because see, that's one thing that happened. That's one thing that got a little bit confused. You know, as a lot of people got exposed to this through, you know, other means, you know, the internet, music, etc., etc. Right? No set of actions, right? No principles of culture go out with that. And so at the end of the day, if I say the sentence, God, you know what I'm saying, God? You know, did I now make what I'm saying wisdom? Did that make what I'm saying wisdom? You know, our God said you have to rise with the science on the mental and start your day living out that degree with it not at the forefront of your third eye. One just has one, but without applying the wisdom, it's useless. Now see right there, right? You scratch the surface of something, right? You said you have to rise with the science on the mental. So see, that's one of the first things right there. Now look, you got a lot of people, right? That they like, yo, you know, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time keeping my lessons on cap. That's the kind of thing you got to do. When you first rise in the morning, right? The way You know, it used to be said, right, that look, you brush your teeth, you gotta brush your mind. You wash your face, you gotta wash your mind. You know, that was like one of them things that, we knew what the word mean, but we used to say that we was brainwashed, right? Because our brain was washed clean of all that negativity. So, that's one of the things that I did, coming up learning 120 is, when I first rose, go through my degrees. And the last thing before I went to bed, I studied my degrees. But what else? Because I'm telling you, people don't know. If people knew, right, a whole lot more would be happening. Said knowledge of self is more complex. Yeah, if see, this is what I'm saying. When you walking and talking, right? You growing up around the best. You seeing their actions. You seeing what they doing. You seeing how the culture is manifested. Right? The same way any other culture, you know what I'm saying? You see people breakdancing, you get into hip hop, whatever it is. Right? Now that's different than if you just read books about hip hop. Or if you just hear people talking about hip hop. And see, at the end of the day, that's what happens, man, when we just on the internet, right? We don't really, it's like, okay, you're supposed to be doing stuff for the community, right? Correct? He said if you're not in the thick of things, then your experience will thin out, right? So we supposed to be doing things for the community. All right, what's those things? What kinds of things? See, that's how you gotta be thinking. See, I'm gonna let y'all off the hook on that one. The kinds of things that your community needs. See, that's what I'm saying. Don't hide behind these words, right? Adding on. Because if you don't know what you're doing, how's everybody else supposed to know what you're doing? So our God sincere said, giving to the less fortunate. So look, we talking about wisdom, right? When's the last time you helped somebody get from here to there? mentally or physically. And here's the thing too, right? We have to understand these things so people don't get caught up, man, and still thinking that we still talking about the mystery God, that we still talking about some magical powers. S. Reeves. See, like when you go out, right, and you telling people that you got, they like, how? What do you mean you got? Because they got a particular idea of it. So to a certain degree, I'm asking you, okay, what's your idea of it? So now Rule, he said he's an educator, right? So you do that as a job. Now see, do knowledge, right? You prepared yourself. See, you prepared yourself to play that role every day. And see, the fact that you do it for a living, see, you made it work all the way. In terms of, now that allows you to not only go in that plane and help somebody get from there to there, you can help your family get from there to there. You see what I'm saying? See, everybody's not prepared to do that. See, some people, look, if I go to Attica, there's some people, if they talk, I'm all ears. But see, like right now, if somebody wants to navigate, let's say, the college process, right? You gotta help them get from there to there, because see, that's what people is expecting the mystery God to do. Not saying that we the mystery God or we competing with him, but that's what they be asking. Deliver me. Get me from here to there. Right? Look, get me over the Red Sea. Get me from here to there. That's a miracle now. Just, when people get into that type of prayer, like, look, just let me get through this situation right here, man, from here to there. And I won't do this sin no more. Look, help me get from this side of these bars to that side of the bars. But on a serious note, right? When's the last time you helped some people get from here to there? Right? From ignorant to having the knowledge of self. Like I said, if you said your name is what you said it is. So now is your word bond. Because that's what Allah did. It was people that was in jail, right? Juvenile and adult, that ended up going to college through Allah, through these teachings. But see, in every stage, that's the thing you got to draw up. In every time, in every different place, right? What the people need is different. The best part is when they come back years later to show you their successes. Because, see, I'm going to tell you something. You got a lot of phonies. You got a lot of phonies that only their words, only their mouth say that they got. But see, on every level, like, listen, the first time you come to the cipher, in fact, look, we was laughing about that. We was laughing about that yesterday. Me and somebody was talking about, and how, when I'm going to the cipher, right? You know, you got the butterflies, you got the nerves, you got to overcome all that. Like I said, that you learn public speaking. So because of that, at first, I used to want to be last. You know what I'm saying? But once I realized that, okay, you can't, somebody might say what you wanted to say before you get a chance to say it. So as I realized that, I always wanted to go first. See, that was one of the reasons that I always set the cipher off. But this is all you gotta learn what to do. But here's the thing, right? We supposed to be, somebody say adding on, right? So why is everybody learning all the same lessons? Unless if you're not teaching, right? You're not showing no example of overcoming nothing. See, that's another one right there. That's a question. Look, what have you overcame? See, when look, not even nobody else. When did you yourself, right? When did you test that? You're just saying that you got, right? Now look, I bet you if you bought a car and the car said it goes 150 miles an hour, I bet you tested that. I know I do. Right? But when was the time, right, when, you had to adhere to your principles and your culture and still survive the trials and tribulations? When you ever went out into the wilderness, right, and came back righteous? See, because look, when a person do that, what more they gotta say? Right? You just put the W right there and keep it pushing. Right? Because your wisdom has shown improvement. Not for nothing, that's not rhetorical. That question, it wasn't rhetorical. See, because we got all these phrases. See, just when I inhale and exhale, I give life. Okay, but how? When? Where? Or here's a question, right? Gold mine, what's the deal? Do you just have the knowledge to hold the wisdom above the people's head like the 70% satisfied? Because if you're doing that, right, guess what's going to be the result of that? The devil is going to be made, right? You're going to be able to hide your hands. You're going to be able to hide your hands and say you ain't have nothing to do with it, but all that above is caused by the said long story, but when I first got knowledge, I was basically homeless. Then I was in the wilderness and had to use my newfound knowledge to raise myself out of that. Now I got food, clothing, and shelter, and a family as well. You see what I'm saying? See, now, that's the making and the owning. See, where you had to establish the whole foundation. Now, look, it's not wrong with, you know what I'm saying, if your parents, you know, or your children, right, if you leave them a foundation to build on, but see, they got to build a story. They got to put another flow in that. Not necessarily physically, I'm saying. But they got to put another flow in that, right? So that they wisdom can show and prove that they got. See? That what you just said right there. See, a family, what's that? A cipher. See, your knowledge added that cipher to show and prove that it went to born. You see how easy it is? You see how easy it is? You see how easy it is when you building on what you did, then you just try to make some shit up. You just grasping for straws and how your wisdom show and prove that you got. It's easy to show and prove that. It's the bullshit that's hard to show and prove. See, that's how you know, right? When you went through that and never what? Fell a victim. See, all those degrees, all that science, right? You manifested it. You see, it's easy when you just describing what you do. You know, usually we get so we have seen those who jumped in the maze just to show and prove they can overcome it. Some don't make it back. Yeah. You right about that. You right about that. See, you know what happens? They experiment with high explosives and blow themselves up. That's what ends up happening. Tell us the name of the place where God and earth was born. Answer the pineal. But that's because, see, why they experiment with high explosives? They either don't know what to do, right? Or they searching for that does not exist. Indeed, that's knowledge adding a cipher in real time. Everyone has to swim their own 9,000 miles. My son will too, but he has something I didn't, me as a foundation. And see, that's, you said, but that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch people. You gotta watch people, man. You ever notice that? You ever notice that in the what's the name? In the actual facts? That sound come before light. So see, I hear the shit you're saying, but I'm watching. See, the first thing you can't take on face value is your own self on face value. So see, you could be bearing fruit, but then it's all poison fruit. See, a father is one who make things go from knowledge to born, right? Born alive or born dead. What is it that you making born? Right? In everything that we do, right? It don't matter what it is. If you a dog catcher, it's a certain protocol and procedure, a certain way that's done. For health, safety reasons, whatever it may be. So see, a lot of these things, that's what I'm saying. A person, look, they have to be qualified to make the devil. See, Yakub gave them specific instructions on everything what to do. So if you don't know what you're doing, you ain't got no determined idea, it's all these people out here that got shit for you to do. They'll gladly tell you. If you don't have a determined idea, right, what happens is that there's other people out there that have determined ideas, right, that they can't accomplish on their own. They need pawns and private soldiers for their determined idea. And if you don't have your own determined idea, they'll just absorb you into theirs as a pawn or as a pawn, as a foot soldier. So if you got all this knowledge, then yeah, you got all this wisdom in the form of words. But see, even in terms of, okay, your knowledge and wisdom, right? You know what I'm saying? Bring about an understanding, right? Dealing with the science of culture, right? Culture is how knowledge, wisdom, and understanding get transferred from people to people from time to time. So any kind of way of life you a part of, right? You know, the people who was in the beginning of that way of life, they learned certain things that they passed on to the next people, and then they learned certain things, added on with the things that they got passed on. Right? So if you got all this knowledge and wisdom that you accumulated, right, but you can't really pass it on, and see, you didn't really understand it that good yourself as you thought you did. When's the last time, right? When's the last time you explained something to a child? Because that's when you know you really understand. See, we can come together, right? Me and you can tell me all these big words, all these big ideas. But see, here's the thing. I got the knowledge too. And I got experience too. So, some of that is a part of the conversation. But see, when you're dealing with somebody, right, who doesn't have these experiences, see, do you really have that power? Yeah. Children got questions. And see, is you can't you can't be adversarial with them. Meaning it's not the same. Like, see, if a Hebrew Israelite asks you a question, then you're gonna answer it. Well, I'm not gonna say what you're gonna do, but a lot of people will answer the question by attacking Hebrew Israelitism or whatever you want to call it. Right? But when you're dealing with children, they don't got nothing for you to attack. They just sincerely asking you a question. And see, when you can't explain it in that context, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you some stuff I seen. It was on TV. It was on TV, and the one person was physically blind, and they made friends with this other person that wasn't physically blind, and the person that was physically blind, they they used to hear about colors, but because they couldn't see, right, they didn't really know what colors was. So they asked a friend like, yo, could you, explain colors to me and shit? So he tried to explain it in words, but he couldn't. Right? So he takes him to this place. He got this shit set up, right? And he put something hot in his hands. And he said, that's red. And then he put something cool in his hands. And he said, that's blue. And then he gave him like some minty stuff to smell, right? He said, that's green. Just saying that, even as a little kid, when I saw that, it let me know that, see, it's different ways you gotta communicate. Right? To break things down to the smallest degree. Now, we don't gotta take it to that level. But just saying, are you able to do that? See, look, can you build on today's mathematics, right? In plain English. Meaning, you explain it to me. Yeah, I know the whole history of the lessons and who wrote them and this and that and what they're about. So yeah, you ain't really explaining it to me. We just kind of checking our notes to see if we got the same thing. I had two last week. I didn't get a chance to tell you I had two. I went to the orthopedic doctor. On the call now. Blackjack Mulligan. That knot that was on my arm, on my wrist, the webs come from this side. See that? When I flick it down. So yeah, I went to they I don't know what he did, but they drained some fluid out of the knot. And then now I'm in this right here for a month until I gotta go back and see if the fluid come back. It feels much better. Like, you can see my thumbs is like the same size now. Whatever he did, hopefully, I'm hoping it don't come back. Because he said if it comes back, might have to put me under. We not looking forward to that at all. But I've been weighing and judging it. Like, I don't really want to be dealing with that, but having my lipoma, what's that? think that name don't sound like it's affiliated with what happened to me. Why is Bezos? I mean, we just in the pocket. You know, I was watching the news. They were saying that there was some kind of incident that shut down the airport out there. Nah, they said it was like a big thing. It shut down something called SeaTac or something. Fatty tissue that forms into a tumor-like entity. Yeah, nah, I don't know if this happened when when I got in the accident. I don't really I don't got a lot of fatty tissue on me, so I doubt that happened to me. I don't know, you know. But I'm dealing with the professionals. I'm dealing with the professionals, so whatever they're gonna let me know. Right now, I gotta go back to the doctor on the 29th. You know what I'm saying? But the therapy so far, I have to admit, it's definitely been helping. When I went to the orthopedic guy, he actually, the lady, she told me some stuff about all the nerve tingling. She showed me like exactly where the problem was, even though she was like, I don't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Even though she was like, we deal with the joint capsule. We don't deal with the whole shoulder like that. But she showed me exactly where the problem was. So when I go to therapy now, they put the electric stem precisely on the spot. And I got some exercises that they give me over there. And those have been helping out greatly as well. So I should be back. I should be back in one piece. Nah, the bike right now, DMV is killing me. I think yesterday made it 2 weeks. Since I went and applied for the new title. For whatever reason, I'm never able to get my mail from DMV. It took me like a year for my license to come. But basically, that's the deal right now. I got to get the title so I could turn over everything to the insurance people, and then they'll pay me out. And listen, I'm telling you, man, it's hell on the train, man. Do you think your generation is healthier at your degree than the one before you? Absolutely. For one thing, just physically, right, with the body, right? If you don't use certain ranges of motion then slowly that range gets shut off. And so that's why, people that used to could run fast and shit, they hit a certain age and they can't run no more. Because all those muscles that they was using, only just sitting at the desk muscles is working. So you say my generation, a lot of things that older generations was like, yo, we grew out of that. We don't do that no more. But you know what though? I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna actually take that back. I'm gonna say, amongst the people that I know, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that I know, right, that is in good shape. But yeah, it's other people that I be seeing that it'd be like, yo, you couldn't be the younger than me in some of these cases. Yeah, yeah, I came on late. The last 2 days, man, yesterday I actually was gonna come on and I ended up having an episode. Yo, listen. Listen. My emotions almost overcame my intelligence. Well, I was like, yo, you know what? Let me stay off of it. Let me Cause see, I'm fuck around and wig the fuck out. I will say this though, West Coast wise, right? My generation, right? I think we the first ones that they started outlawing chemicals. Like that World War II generation is full of fucking chemicals, bro. Like like yo, they used to swim in rivers where factories used to flush out all they whatever bullshit they got. Yes, and look, I see a lot of people, right, with like high blood pressure and all of that. And then that's another thing too. Another thing too, right, is and I don't know if other people observe this. Maybe this is anecdotal, right? But tell me if y'all notice this, right? That it ain't the same in the city is in the rural areas. Like when you get into the rural areas, it's a little more, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that they eat, and then they just don't got the movement. You know what I'm saying? Like New York, yeah, the Hudson was still nasty, but we knew better than to swim in there. The older people, like my pop's generation, used to swim right in it. So like I was a kid, we used to go to the pool, right? We used to go to Roberto Clemente pool. It wasn't even no Roberto Clemente then. Hey, he might have been born, but he wasn't playing baseball yet and having no name for the pool to be named after him. Harmony Equality. Yeah, shout out to Harmony Equality. I did. I was supposed to shout that out because we got that was another reason why I didn't get a chance to come on last week because things was hectic. That was it. Look, I was almost having another episode, but we got the book bags. So what's happened so far is that they sent us 96. The others, we already got the tracking number. They supposed to be here tomorrow. The 120 book bags, you know what I mean? Shout out to Harmony Equality and I guess, the other people of DC, you know what I'm saying? They took up they took up a collection, you know what I mean, of donations, and they got the pouches with the pencils and pens, erasers, markers, etc., etc. So, we still gotta get the paper. Tomorrow, gotta make some calls. You know what I'm saying? But everything's a go on that. August 31st, we're gonna be doing that book bag drive. Along with there's gonna be an art show out there, some musical performances, etc., etc. So, that's one of the things I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Look, I asked everybody else, right? What have you been doing to show and prove who you are? So, that's one of the things I'm doing. We'll wait till they get the stuff and then we'll shop them out. You said a lot of brothers dying at 60. I mean, yeah, but it's double edged though. You know what I mean? Because you gotta remember, especially if you're talking about somebody that's recently turned 60, right? Which, now look, I got to speak from a New York standpoint again, right? I don't know how it was in other places, but if you're talking about somebody that turned 60, let's say in like the last 10 years up until now, right? Then you're talking about generations of people, like some of them was addicted to dope, and then when crack came out, they got addicted to crack. So they had like 30, 40 years, go hard years. You know what I'm saying? Where they used up that last, you know what I'm saying, years of their life, man. They sliced that off. So, you got that factor too. You know what I'm saying? That, through the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, it was a lot of hard living. The way the older brothers explain it in New York is that, it was always kind of around. You know what I mean? The diesel, the dope. But then they was like, yo, something happened like in the mid 60s or the late 60s, right? Where the price just dropped to like $2. And so, all these little kids and shit started getting hooked, and a lot of them never got off. You know what I mean? Like one of the people, my man Jerry, he was like that. He was like, yeah, I started when I was like 12 years old. So, there's that factor too. But, it's also just the factor that, look, we came a long way. we came a long way. You know what I'm saying? Other organizations, they, we not organization, but other, ciphers that you might be in, it don't last long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have been on a basketball team when you was in junior high school. We would hope that nobody on there, passed away for any reason. But with this thing, listen, we know the science of life, man. You know what I'm saying? So look, 60 years, what did you think was going to happen? You see what I'm saying? See, that's another reason why, when your wisdom showing prove who you are, then you ain't going to be able to die. Right? You ain't got to be a hypocrite. Right? When your wisdom has shown and proved. See, you don't got to be a hypocrite like a Christian, right? Who don't want to die, but yet you telling me heaven is you don't got to be that kind of hypocrite. So, I don't know if I told y'all, but I got some new toys. I'm about to fire up. You know what I'm saying? So, we got any last questions? Freedom, what's the deal? We got any last questions before we wind this one here down? Divine understanding. Fasting, I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this this little bit of time right here with getting this event done, right? And then I gotta finish this battle with DMV. And then after that, I think I'm gonna be ready for a fast. That should be, shit. Hopefully, if things go well, we'll be talking about maybe the 3rd-ish. If maybe around September 3rd. But I gotta see. I'm telling you, man, you have no idea, man, how much recently it's just like, yo, just how much I gotta be on a swivel right now. See, because, even when you deal with individuals, see, just like I said, right? You gotta ask yourself every day, how is my wisdom showing and proving that I'm God, right? You gotta You gotta ask yourself that, right? But then you gotta look at me like that too, right? Now, yeah, you could have good history, you know what I'm saying? You did, but see, I gotta, and I'm not taking that from you. I'm not even attacking you. I'm just saying that I gotta preserve the best part for myself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, man, the best part is peace. Peace of mind, peace on earth, peace amongst brothers, peace. Sometimes that's the best part, G. So, once I complete that, what I'm saying is, I can't go into my arena over here, where I could, because, that's the thing. When you fasting, you gotta be aware of where you at. Be aware of the surroundings, right? And whether or not you can afford, right, to not have your energy at its peak. So, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the flyer to the function. I'm gonna put it in the they got the community little tab or whatever on this page where you can do like just posts. So y'all can see what it is. You know what I mean? Shout out to Born King and Infinite for putting that together. Where do you see the nation in another 25 years? I'm gonna tell you something. I don't see it. Like when you ask me that, right? I draw a blank because it's so dependent on what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's super sensitive to everything that we do. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning like, if you in a if you in a Mack truck, right? You know what I'm saying, and you crash through the barricades. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, yeah, that's not going to do much and shit. Like, we might get a little damage, but we're going, but you coming through the barricades on a bike, a bicycle, right? A dirt bike. Now it's like, yeah, it's shit you could do. Maybe you a BMX cat, whatever, and you could hop right over the barricades. You could go around them. You understand what I'm saying? Or you could crash the fuck out, bro. And it's every possibility is on the table. You know what I'm saying? And see, here's the thing too, man. Right? We all like to say that look, as long as I'm here, it's gonna be a 5%, right? But see that time that you just put on it, right? Yeah, see, I don't know if me and my brothers that I really rock with, I don't know if we got another Wizard Power. At least not to be you know, said, do you see the term crashing out as a form of suicidal behavior, a symptom of PTSD? I mean, it can be, but ultimately, there's just situations where you got the unstoppable force and you got the immovable object. Sometimes that's just the case. You know what I mean? Because, it necessarily, you know what I'm saying, even when you say that, right, it's all different instances. Even when you deal with the science of civil rights, right? Some people was crashing out. Some people, was peacefully protesting, and some people was crashing out. And they all played a part. That all played a part. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, it formed the carrot and the stick. You know what I'm saying? And that type of civil unrest like that happens, they're very, very afraid of that. You see what I'm saying? We should go into that a lot, during the riots and all of that a couple years ago. Is that, see, one thing the 10% is definitely afraid of, right, is unity amongst the people. It's only 10% of them. You don't want to go against 90% of the people. Especially when, look, they're not exactly used to crashing out. But just saying, even historically, that's what happened to the monarchs and shit. They didn't take care of their people as leaders. And so their people rebelled on them. You know what I'm saying? And the rebellion got so heavy that, people was getting assassinated, people getting their head chopped off, all type of shit. Supreme man. So, sometimes that's the rational decision, G. Sometimes that's the rational decision. Well, the topic was using your wisdom to show and prove who you are. You know what I'm saying? So we started off the topic by, asking people to be honest with themselves, right? Does your wisdom show and prove that you got? And if so, how? You know what I'm saying? Because, as we was going through, which is, we recapping it, especially in this age where a lot of people is getting exposed to the knowledge through the internet, they getting exposed to the knowledge through music, right? They're not around people where you see what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see the brothers that's God and how they activate. So that gives you some cues on how to activate. You know, a lot of people have the knowledge, but they don't know what to do. Like, it's people who have the knowledge, they want to visit the root, but they don't know the address to the school. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's specific instructions and what to do and how to be to make the devil. Right? So do people have that same certain love from the hood? Missed us by that much. So, you know, so you said wisdom is twofold. One can't work without the other. Words without action born stagnation. Now listen, that was one of the conditions. When I asked the question, right, I said that we know we have many manifestations of the principle of wisdom. This time, we're not talking about words. You know, we specifically was talking about things, right, where you don't got to tell people. You don't got to tell people that you got. See, anybody that know the signs, anybody that's aware, they know that you showed and proved in whatever cipher that is. You know what I'm saying? Or we asked another question, right? What have you overcame? You know what I'm saying? What did you have to start with just yourself and an idea, right? And then your knowledge added a cipher to show and prove that you overcame that. That now that's a cipher you could say you made and owned. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it is specific. You said, I think our era of learning from the elders like we did is done. We the only link to that era now. They will never build with Dumont, Freedom, Sahim, etc. Now look, that was another point that we made about that. Right? You know, have you showed and proved your wisdom, right, by seeing the understanding that it borns? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had some knowledge and wisdom, right, like let's say for instance, right, you got a strong background in athletics. Because you clearly wasn't just, you know, a robot out there, right? You was able to pass that knowledge on to your sons. But if you couldn't explain those things to them, then that would mean that you didn't really understand football that good yourself. Said my older brothers out here have an emphasis on making this knowledge practical and tangible in our everyday life. And that's another thing that we covered, right? Is that, okay, when you go out there and you speak to the 85% and you say you God, in their mind, God is a magical white man that exists in the clouds. You see what I'm saying? You know, do you really understand yourself? Right? That it's the tangible things that happen. Right? We discussed that. You know, you being God, right? When's the last time you got somebody from here to there? mentally or physically. Right? That's what the religious people be talking about is deliverance. Evil is over here, get us over there. We walking through the valley of the shadow of death. We fear no evil because God is going to get us from over here to over there. He's going to split the Red Sea so we can get from over there to over there. But we're not going to do it by waving a stick or snapping a finger or twinkling our nose. But that's what some people is waiting on to happen. Did y'all know that? Type 1 in the box, right? If you knew that there was people amongst us, right, that they studying their lessons waiting for magical powers to kick in. You didn't know that, Watts? you didn't know. Wait, you didn't know that either, King Man? See, the concept of the mystery God empowers you to fully develop your inner strength thoroughly. Right. But do a person actually realize that? Like, look, we was talking about that, right? Developing your powers, right? When you wake up in the morning, go through your lessons. Before you go to bed at night, go through your lessons so that you could be prepared. Yeah, you got people, turn levitate, all type of stuff, man. He said, when you pray, who voice do you hear? Yo, not for that. I used to ask people that when I was 85. Like in the church, right? See, everybody ain't getting went to church no more. That's it. Ain't like back in the day, right? But in the church, right? It's like a rail that go around where the preacher is at, right? And at a certain time, you go up to that rail and you supposed to pray and shit. And I used to always be looking at the other people, like trying to figure out, like, what's the deal with you? You know what I'm saying? And I used to ask people, like, yo, when you spoke to God, he said something back? I should be like, yo, what you saying? Like, when you pray, what you saying? And I used to always just wonder, like, yo, what? And then, see, that was one of the things that I'm saying. That look, when I came into the 5%, right? Which in a lot of ways, I wish I never got mixed up with y'all. But you come into the 5% and you got lessons. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's not praying, but I'm saying, like, brothers over there building on degree. What's that you talking about? Here, study that. See, they break it right down for you. See, I never could understand Christianity. I never could understand it. To be God, you got to stay above 6 every day in every way. Indeed. So, oh yeah, the Holy Ghost. Y'all seen people listen. And that was one of the things, I used to be tight about that. Now, Baptist. So Baptist is they didn't lose all the African superstition over there. But yeah, they used to have some holy roller people. That's what they used to call them back then. Holy rollers. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be pissed off that I never caught the Holy Ghost. One time, a couple of times it happened. I'm sitting in the church, right? And the Holy Ghost starts coming down the road, son. Like it's coming down the road, son. Like if you in the stadium, right? And the wave is coming. Like this person catch the Holy Ghost, the next person catch it. So I'm thinking, yo, I'm standing, I'm ready. Yeah, next thing, wait, what happened? What happened? Yo, that happened to me a couple of times, man. I'm like, yo, why the fuck can't I catch the Holy Ghost? The fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? All I know is when you motherfucker catch the Holy Ghost, they can break dance to the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He said, I see people catch the so-called Holy Ghost, but you can hypnotize yourself because the mind is infinite. Yeah. I didn't like that. So, those was like the reasons why I became disenchanted with Christianity, man. Around 10 or 11, I stopped. Like I said, I figured out that it's certain people in my family that don't go to church. So I started staying at their house Saturday night. I was like, yeah, I had enough, man. I still didn't have the knowledge. I didn't think I was God. I just knew that it's like, look, I asked y'all enough questions and y'all clearly don't know what the fuck you talking about. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. One day, my great-grandmother gives me the envelope and she tells me, go to this room over here and take them that envelope. When I go to the room and they open the door, G, the shit is like the number hole or some shit. It's like, yo, G, it's mad money, yo. They counting all this money and shit. They got all this fucking. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like I'm talking about this shit. It was like an operation, man. And I that was another thing that is like, yeah, this is not what I thought it was. While I'm standing up, really, you know what? I got shit on all my chairs, and then I ain't got my setup. And get my table set up and all that. So right now, see the way this is, I got the TV screen right here, so I can see the comments. Oh yeah, you seen that too, huh, Supreme? Yeah, it was like, yo, what is Yeah, it's worth it for me. I love it. All I gotta tell you is, look, the first time you ride through traffic, the first time it's that traffic jam where it's like, yo, you would have been in traffic for like 45 minutes and you just sail right through. It's nothing like it, man. It's nothing like it. Is that is like it? Yeah, he gave me Black Jack Mulligan. And Spider-Man. What happened? I don't know. I just seen a little freeze right there. I don't know if that's my battery. Shit, my great grandmother was a deacon. They divided the dough after church every Sunday. Then the fried chicken dinners would commence. Yeah, look. I remember all that, but I don't know what it was. It was something about when I saw that. You know what I mean? You know, maybe it was that, I'm hearing y'all talk about all this shit about the money changers and shit and all that and how they evil, and I see y'all in here doing that. I don't know what it was, man. But, all of those things was on my road to leaving Christianity, man. I never believed in this shit from the jump. It was one of them things where I'm thinking everybody in the family, believe in this shit, so, I trust these people. So I'm thinking like, yeah, I understand right now, but, this is clearly the way to go. So when I heard the black man is God, I had to investigate that for self. It just kind of appeared around me. The first people that I seen that knew they was God, they didn't understand it. And so when I asked them questions about it, they couldn't explain it to me. Yeah, a little more coof, sir, love, than just dumping the money on the table. Put some finesse on that, son. Put some finesse on that, man. Yeah, the first time, I was curious when he did say that, because by the time I heard him say that, I'm already disenchanted with Christianity. And I was in the store playing video game and shit. And a nigga came in the store and said, yo, Jerry said he's God. And I was like, what Jerry? Jerry live in your building. Right, so as he's talking to me and I'm looking at him, my man dies. So then he goes back outside and I see a whole bunch of people, it's all other kids or whatever, they all standing around Jerry asking him about being God. And as I'm looking out there to see what's going on, my next man dies. And so now I'm like, oh shit, I'm wasting my quarter and shit, and I'm trying to play, but my attention is like this, so I died again and shit, right? And this is the real games with a quarter. This ain't the games which our young brothers grew up on, where you just do the cheat code. When you die, you die. So I go outside and I say, yo, Jerry, man, if you God, then where you came from? And he said he came from his mother. And so I said, yeah, you can't be God because I'm stronger than you. I came from my father. And I went back in the store and I started playing the game again and shit. And that was my first brush for the 5%. Well, not my, my first conscious, you know what I'm saying, when somebody said they was God and I interacted with them. Wasted opportunity. See, that's exactly what I mean when I say if you can't explain it to a child, you don't know what you're talking about. You can explain it to college professors, but you can't explain it to a child. So, this was decent. We had the class. I can see, I don't know what's going on. Why I would be coming down with the sniffles right now because it's like 100 degrees in New York. So my family was NOI in the 50s, but they wasn't pushing the God narrative in the forefront. They was religious. Oh, yeah, in terms of the NOI, that's, yeah. That was just kind of an adjustment of spirituality for some people. But, I was getting ready to say, though, is that we're going to make an attempt. We're going to make an attempt to come on tomorrow, right? Have another one, you know what I'm saying? Not sure where I'll be broadcasting from, but, we'll try to make happen what we can do. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, and in between time, if you made it this far, do each one, teach one, hit the like button. Any new people out there, hit the subscribe button, notification button so you can know when we come on. And until the next bat time and next bat place, I'm going to sign off and say peace.